All right, guys, welcome back. We are watching Made in Abyss Season 2, Episode 12. We are finally here. This is the finale of, Made in Abyss for now. I'm sure there will be a Season 3 in the future. People have told me, of course, the manga isn't finished. It seems like the author really takes his time with releasing new chapters. So who knows how long it will be, I suppose, until there's a Season 3. But either way, we are finally here. We are finally at the end. Faputa has a new outlook on things, perhaps about value and her purpose and her destiny in a sense. We got a lot of stuff to wrap up. It is a long episode, 47 minutes long, so I am looking forward to it. Lots of things to wrap up. I just hope not too many people die horrible deaths, right? That's the normal thing I would expect from this show is a bunch of people dying horrible deaths. I hope that doesn't happen. I don't want Faputa to die. I feel like either Faputa is going to die or she won't. It's like obviously, right? Um I don't know. I can't decide. I can't decide what I think is actually going to go down with that, huh? I guess we'll see. It is so windy outside. I hope it doesn't get picked up on the mic. Like, it's literally like 30-mile-an-hour winds or something outside right now. I can hear like my walls like creaking all the time, constantly. So I hope that doesn't get picked up. I guess too bad if it does, I suppose. Anyway, we're watching episode 12 of season 2 of Made in Abyss. You can line your own copy up with this if you want to. We are starting in 3, 2, 1. Can't you take those things on now? Maybe. I don't know. Oh. Ooh. He is still fine. Okay, okay. I was wondering what happened to him. Oh. Obliterates them. Sounds good. Sounds good. Oh. Very nice. Very nice. Ooh. I still, yeah. God, these things are terrifying, huh? I mean, the... Oh, it's like melting. Interesting. Carry longing within you. Oh, God. Explosive poisonous scales. Right. Right. Okay, okay. After herself fed this fire. Interesting. And last time we get this opening too. Man. God, the surface. Seeing the surface in this shot in the opening, it feels so far away. It feels like another planet, you know? There's definitely like a very there's such a clear shift in like I guess not maybe not the tone of the show, but just the environment and everything is just so clearly different than it was. At like the start, like back around like the first layer, you know. And I guess it's been like a gradual shift over time. It's just crazy how far we have come, you know. How much further there even could be to go, you know. I mean, Haku. God, I still wonder. What I really want still is Faputa. I'm about to talk to Nanachi. I don't know if that's going to happen. I just think that's interesting how they both could have like a connection in that way. With like Midi and Nanachi stuff about her compared to like Faputa's whole thing with the village. I don't know if that's going to happen though. Like at this point, I don't know. You know, I don't know. I don't know. Gold, quite the name. Gold and value. Flashback? Ooh, the wind. God, what even is Fakuta? You know? When is this? Oh, it's when she found him. Gabaroon. So this is a long time ago. Wakes him up. Wonder how he got there, huh? If he still has power, if he's still, like, alive, you know? She's really just like an animal. Interesting. I don't think she even speaks a language yet, does she? Yeah. I guess. For territory. So inquisitive, huh? Oh, so pretty. Don't share their scent. Interesting. Makes you think about how lonely and sad Fabita's existence all alone on the sixth layer would be, you know? Right, right. Very interesting. The interference units themselves, I feel like I haven't talked about them much, but... Ooh, gathering stuff. Ooh. She can talk now. Stuff for him to, like, rebuild. Impressive, impressive. Very, very. She is quite incredible, huh? She is something entirely unique, right? I mean, they both like to learn, right? Finding value in that, sure. Okay. Ooh, okay. Oh, these are like the marks in the currency, right? Interesting. Ooh. Liberation of a wish. Haku. And it, like, builds on itself, the symbols, you know? Yeah. Shape of a soul. Very interesting. I wonder how you can apply that to, like, that process to different things that people value in the show, you know? Oh, oh, he named her, right. Ah, and he's dead. He was like her real parents, essentially, right? Right, right. Princess who won't perish, exactly. Ah. No, you need a name too. Exactly. Gabaroon. Where did that name come from? Ooh, okay, okay. The Queen's Guardian. Sure. Why not? You look imposing. That's good enough. Right, right. Ooh. Oh, okay, okay. Back here, back here. So suspicious. Whoa. Okay, just a little pat. There's Reg. Who else would he be? Come on. Perhaps, perhaps. The same as Mother. This one's soul. Okay. Interesting. God, another similarity between Nanachi and Fakuta. They're both like such unique they're both like such unique people, like what they are, you know. Calm down. Ooh, right, yeah, the symbol she put on them. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, what are you talking about? And she took Prushka. Right, right. Interesting, she feels such sympathy, right? Yeah. It's about duty, I suppose. Interesting. Unavoidable. Alright, alright. You would think. You would think. God. It just shows how like empathetic of a person she really is, you know, despite all of her despite the way she acts generally, I guess, about like the village and everything. She's just embarrassed, I guess. She's scared. Scared of strangers. I guess I can't blame her. Yeah. She's like never talked to anyone but Gabu before, and Reg. She'll be fine. Come on. Come on. Did you have to do that? Like, uh, yeah, he's dead. I guess she really is strong enough for these things, huh? I guess she's so tiny compared to them, it's like, what are they even gonna do? Ooh. Rico? Right, okay, okay. Where are we? Majikaja, I guess. Oh, he's on a very big vessel now, huh? Oh, okay. They're both here. Okay, okay. God, I wonder how Reg got out of his situation. Hmm. Sure, sure. Feels like it's just like an inevitability, I suppose. Rousher from that prolonged dream. I wonder if Himiri is still conscious in some way, which is just terrifying, right? Yeah, yeah. Interesting. Hmm. Wazukyan, right? Oh, and he's here. He doesn't look too good. Boiko is gone. What's up, man? I'm empty. Interesting. Is that untrue? Interesting. Ooh, accumulation. Hmm. I'm sure she is. Oh, even just like broadly. Yeah, yeah. So what does Wazi-chan think about that, I wonder? Very true, very true. It's almost like it led both of you to the same place. Right, right. I do wonder if it will come back up. Ooh, interesting. Indeed. That that does not answer her question. Something beyond human. Hmm. Is that really what we mean by exactly? Sure, thank you. Ooh, okay. Through accumulation, the shared wishes of people, perhaps. Again, it's like that idea Rika herself brought up in season one. Yeah, interesting. Right. Disintegrating would be yeah, of course. I would love for her to go along with them at this point. Ooh. More frightening than unfulfilled dreams. Interesting. I wonder. I wonder. It seems like it always does, in a way. Perhaps. I wonder if he himself foresaw his own demise here, why would he have gone through with it, right? Exactly. How infallible were the visions that he saw, you know? Something more terrifying than unfulfilled dreams. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. For what purpose other than hmm. Okay. Seems like she is resigned to it still. Yeah, true. God, yeah, we have to worry about the curse again, right? Like, I mean, it's really, oh, God. Metopone? Sure. Of course. I don't think that money's going to be worth much for much longer. What do you mean by a substitute? Ooh, Blue Girl. Right. Where is she? Yeah. Would she be going to Faputa? But that would be very dangerous. Oh, that yeah, yeah, from the market. That guy, yeah. Okay, okay. Wonder what's on it. What kind of information was missing? Wonder how it even got here in the first place, right? I mean, we know Reg was here with it at some point, but of course. God, what even is Ma? The accumulation, I suppose. Off we go. Quite the party we have, huh? Ooh, stairs. Where are you, Voiko? Where are you going? Hmm. Oh, everything is really just... Where is she going? She's so near, like, the top, it seems. Interesting. Sure. Very inspiring. Right, everyone. You too, in a way. Yeah. Right. Hmm. Does she think of herself as so different from her? Oh. Wazukan knew she would be there, right? That's what he said. And where did this lead you to, right? I mean, obviously. Exactly. Ah. Yeah. It's like she imagined that was impossible for her. Oh. Oh no. Really? She's going up, right? Oh my god. Yeah. Right. Great. Uh Oh god. After all this, is this really just... Yeah. Sure. I guess. Ooh. She's not dead. Oh, yeah. What is happening to her? Oh, 'cause the outside. Yeah. So I guess it's like the force field itself. Oh, and that's so sad because she couldn't. She remember that scene where she's like looking at her like she wanted to say something to her a few episodes ago, and she didn't. Oh, she knows her, of course, from the memories. Oh, yeah. I mean, we have to like get out of here, right? I suppose. I don't know how she's. I mean, she's only like partially transformed, I guess. Is it because she was just right on the edge of going up? Oh, I mean, she's still partially human. It's personal. Personal for her, I suppose. She has the memories. Of course, Roiko, just through that, means something to Nanachi now. Through the understanding. Taking her where, though? To Faputa? I suppose. I mean, that's what I would really want, is Faputa and Roiko to have some kind of connection, right? Ooh. I mean, this battle between these seems like it's taken a long time, huh? Ugh, it's not doing well, though. Your life place. Its heart, perhaps? Interesting. God, she's truly immortal now, huh? It's just inside of her, you know? Oh, okay. Oh, right. Yeah, of course, of course. She got to be suspicious of him. Okay, okay. Sure. Ooh, they're all here. Are they the only ones left? Okay. You gotta stop thinking that. Come on. You got this. You got this. I mean, maybe. This is gonna be rough. Don't want to use the incinerator, but... Oh, from like the arm that's off? Of course. Yeah, yeah. The signal. Alright. It took so much out of her last time. I'm worried, right? We don't know how white whistles work, you know? Like, I assume information we would have gotten if she had become like a white whistle like normally, you know? Yeah, right. Okay. And it's just getting worse and worse every time. Okay. Can he handle them? I don't know, maybe. Pop just weakened one of them. Oh. I break its neck, I guess. Oh. Man. God, what is all the weird, like, spiny things under it? Oh. There's Faputa. She has the memories too. Do it later. Okay. Inside of her. Another type of accumulation, perhaps. Oh. I guess. I mean, they're doomed either way. But they can become part of her, in a sense. Yeah. Because I guess it's like what Mugi was saying. It's almost like they've just been extending this whole time they've been living within Iramiri, in Irabiru. It's like it was inevitable. Okay, he got one outside. That's good. Ooh. Oh. Yeah, it's like supported. Interesting. God, what is up with Wazikyan? Interesting. Oh, yeah, can't use that. No way. Oh, okay. Oh, just trying to like destroy it, I guess, like this with like the yeah, uh-huh. Oh, that was easy. Okay, okay. I don't know if they'll even die from that, but they're out of the way now, right? How are they gonna get back up? Oh, well, I guess Majikaja can't really be eaten, huh? Yeah. Oh, it's like so, it has to be so conflicting to her now, you know? But, okay. End her torment, right? The screams. That's what makes me think that Iramiri is still, in some way. Oh yeah, I guess we've really got to get out of here. I mean, sure, she's knocked out, right? Oh, what is Voiko thinking about this? She is still conscious, yeah. Oh, living on. But it's what she would have wanted. Yeah, yeah. So much like Fapita, too. Oh, oh. That she is still there. Not just children. I wonder if that thing was wanting them to survive too, right? Because of the connection that like Voiko and Bailoff had to her, right? And if that led to this, right? Of course. Oh, yeah. It's really trying to disappear. We had a line like that before. Oh, Bailoff's mask. Such a conflict, such a contradiction between the things she would want, you know? Ah. And that's not what she would have wanted either, right? Warm darkness. Warm darkness. Like bittersweet in a way, I suppose, right? Because right now I think Voika understands, of course, this is what Iramiri would have wanted, but she blames herself for it. Oh. Did she use it all up? Yeah. Ah, but you can't. There has to be more, right? That's what we were. Oh, okay. Yeah, she didn't eat them. Okay, okay. No, she can understand him. Okay. Oh, interesting. But then that would be so. Yeah, yeah. Because it's like she thinks she put the importance of that over this that she imagines as her duty. And that, oh, okay, right, right. And hey, if she doesn't have energy left, it's people who care about her, right? Come on. It doesn't have to all come from within her. Oh, it's really just, yeah, yeah, it's all over. Ma hasn't disappeared. Neither is Majikaja, I guess. I mean, are they outside the village completely yet, I guess? Oh, she made one for him because he lost all the stuffed animals and all the things he had, remember? Oh god. Oh. Oh. And there's like the gas seeping out. Is that him? Oh, that's him. What a weird form. Oh, and he feeds himself to her. Oh, or he's like possessed her. He's like controlling her. They say, okay, sure. Man. He gets a body, right? Remember? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, the music. God, the music is always so good. Oh. Oh. Are they, well, they're gone, I assume. Oh, so bright. Ah, they're all just all gone. They're just all gone. Oh, we're all the way down here. Oh, God. Territorial, maybe. Or putting it out of its misery, even, perhaps. You wonder how intelligent these creatures are, I suppose. Interesting. Hmm. Makes you think about, I don't know. I feel like you get some meaning out of that. The way it connects to, like, everything that Fopped has done. Oh. Last bits of Majikaja, maybe? Yeah. Oh, God, before you go. Can she even speak anymore? Yeah. Oh. I mean, we all made it. We all, God, all three of them had such experiences, right? I mean, right, sure, sure. And they're part of us now in a way, right? Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah. They're part of your journey. Yeah, yeah. they all had such unique connections to different parts of it, and different things. Oh, yeah, such an important thing. Um, in a way. Yeah, you're certainly your own person. Fopta kinda has that too. Ah, yeah. Yeah, she was there all along. Ah, but there was part of her you didn't know about. Yeah, yeah, she knew about everything that had happened, but not this. Oh, yeah, why does it come back to you now? I mean, it sounds like it's so meaningful, but it's so sad. That's what led you to Iramuri, right? Yeah, yeah. Oh, belongs to mother. Ah, Voiko. What an amazing character. Oh, oh, burying her right here, right where Yumiri is, right? There's swine. Buried with her forever. Oh, she won't be alone, right? Just like you. Yeah, exactly. The soul comes around again. Oh, oh, and Gabi's dead. It's like she would be so directionless, so purposeless now. Yeah, she has to. She has to, right? Come on, she has to. Oh, and this music again? Oh, yeah, so hard. It's not your fault. But it's yeah, it's so meaningful for her because she thinks it. Sure. Right. Gathering of fools, huh? Oh. Ooh. It's her role. Yeah, to bring people together, maybe. Cherish the people she meets. Oh. Yeah, yeah. Oh, she can, like, literally hear her. That was a very good Prushka impression. Right, sure. Oh. With them, though? Or... Come on. Oh, what does that mean? The amazing Fapita noises. It's sure, but Fapita's a match for him, right? Oh. Yeah. One could take hold of it. Free from the yoke called value. Yeah, free from it. Oh, love itself. Oh, like reflecting off of her. Man. Ah, God, that's really the end? Man. Ah, that is the end. No after credits, no nothing. Ah, God. Just amazing. Just amazing. So beautiful. So good. So great. God. Everyone's dead. But, you know, that's okay. Fapita's alive, right? I mean that's kind of like the whole thing, right? It's like they live on in some way, like through Fapita, right? Like that's kind of the, you know, like it's the accumulation in a way, right? The same thing's been happening with Rico, you know? Like I guess. Ah, man. Man. And I guess the whole part of the whole point, I guess, is they're dead, but they aren't gone, right? Like it's that's the whole thing, the accumulation, the living on like within another person almost through like that impact that you've made on them, you know? Because you have to think of it from the perspective of people like Rico too, how they can never go back either, right? Ah, God, that is the end. That is the end. We're really done. We're really done. We're really done with Made in Abyss. That's really what happened. Okay, we'll talk about it in the discussion. Okay, let's talk about the episode. God, what a good season finale. This apparently Made in Abyss is really good with season finales, huh? Because the season one season finale was also so good. This one, man, I feel like I have said that like the past three episodes have all been my favorite episode of the show, but I don't know. It's always recency bias. It's so hard to say. It's so hard to say. I never like to make comparisons between like seasons of a show, like comparing this season to like season one, just because recency bias is such a strong thing. Like I really don't know. I don't know. This season was like incredible though. I really enjoyed it. I think the thematic focus of it, it was much more focused in a way on like this one specific aspect of like just the whole struggle Fapta had, I suppose, of like defining her own wishes and her own desires through herself. I guess that's something that thematically feels like it so obviously follows from everything that was explored in season one. I don't know, I just wouldn't have guessed it. I wouldn't have guessed that's where we were going, but it makes so much sense now that we've seen it through, you know. I don't know, it's just I really liked the um I guess I don't even know what I would call the vibe of this season really in comparison to season 1. It was certainly different. I really enjoyed it. I love what we did with this season. The back and forth that we did a few times between between Ganja, Voiko Wazukyan's group and our group with Rico and everyone. Oh, it's just so good, just so incredible. Such an incredible season. The music, I think this I feel like I can say, and maybe no one will disagree, this has to be the best music in any show I have ever watched. Like the best soundtrack of anything like ever, right? It is always so good. It's crazy. It feels so oh god, it's so good. It's so good. No, just everything about it. Everything about it is so incredible. I'm glad I watched it. Very glad I watched it. Just it feels very thematically like dense and like complicated too, like complex. I It's something that I feel like is something I kind of regret in a way, how the kind of these discussions, like obviously I ramble for a long time in all of them, but at the same time it is kind of like short form in the sense of it's not like I really like research and delve into every episode and like write a paper about it, which I feel like you literally could do for Maiden Abyss, you know? It feels so complex thematically in that way that I feel like I'm really only scratching the surface with these discussions, you know? Um yeah, I'm really sad that we're finished with it. Just an absolutely incredible show all around. Really just amazing. Um Amazing characters, amazing everything, amazing thematically. Like I think the themes of it are it's broad enough that I think anyone of course can relate to it, to like everything that's going on with all the characters. But I feel like it's something that shows themselves, I guess, don't focus on like so specifically, I guess, like this nature of like dreams and desires in this way. I guess because maybe it is something that is kind of broad that is like hard to tackle, you know? Just incredible. Just incredible. Let's talk about the episode, I suppose. So everyone kind of died. That's a little bit sad. Voiko's death is very. I mean, it makes sense. I think it makes sense, right? With what we've been talking about in the season, with everyone continuing almost as a part of Fapita, like Fapita finding value in that in and of itself, almost right through the same way that the same way Rico has found so much value in her shared desire of what other people want and what other people wish for, like Reg and Nanachi and Prushka and everyone, you know. Fapita can be the same in a sense, right? She's the only thing left from all of this. She's the only remnant left of everything that happens with the village and Irumyuui and everything, which is so horrible and sad to think, but it doesn't give Fapita a duty, because I think the word duty is kind of scary, but it makes it seem so meaningful for Fapita to continue living and doing things, you know? Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, right? Um, with like everything that she has gone through, like her idea of what her duty was before to just destroy Irumyuui, and then that would just be the end of it. Well, no, of course, her adventure has to continue on past that, right? God, it is still so windy outside. Like the I can hear my walls creaking constantly. So I really hope that hasn't been being picked up on the mic. I don't know. I really don't. It's like loud. It's like actually weird how loud it is. Anyway, what I want to talk about really from this episode is this whole thing that Gabu talked about. These levels of value, right? The reason I really want to talk about this is because it's very interesting how it feels like you can clearly map this onto parts of like Riko's wish and her value, her desires, her wish changing throughout the course of the story. Um, the way he presents these, I guess, it seems like they aren't like a ladder that you ascend in a sense, but they also like kind of are, right? Like how he says this is the beginning of the desire, and then there's, piling up of value, the accumulation, the crystallization, all these things, right? And then Haku being the thing you value very most, right? So it feels like it almost is. There's a progression to it, right? And like I guess my line of thinking, I suppose, would be so she is the initial value. So it's like we can basically apply this to anyone's wish, anyone's desire, I suppose. Like more broadly, like the reason why you continue down your journey in life, I guess, right? Why you continue down in the abyss would be like a more, and that's what it is for Rico. Like the initial value for Rico was just wanting to go into the abyss, wanting to see her mom at the bottom of the abyss, right? Throughout the story, right? The piling up of value beyond desire, accumulating wish, right? She gains more and more things that she values, that she thinks are important to her, right? The accumulation of all these things. It's like they literally used that word, I think, during the conversation between Rico and Prushka in the movie, right? So the accumulation of the wish happened, I guess, just throughout the course of season 1 in general. Due to the solidification of a wish, this is where it gets kind of hard. A crystallization of value. It means purity. What I was thinking about with this is perhaps like, could you say that throughout the movie, this is like what Rico experienced, I suppose? Her whole it's like they faced all these challenges, right? Bondrewd very directly was a challenge to them to continue on in their desires and their wish, right? And I wonder if through that process, through everything they faced through that, you could imagine that to be the solidification. I guess the only reason I really say that is because it she had the conversation with Prushka in that movie about like the accumulation of all these things, which means she was already past the God, what was it, the she step, right? So that the movie can't or coup, sorry, she was already past the coup step, so the movie has to be past coup, right? So if the movie was Gutsu, like maybe that makes sense. It does feel like after the movie, it does feel like they have more purpose and more like they got the white whistle, they have more meaning and more purpose than before, right, to reach the bottom, right? They have more reason to want to reach the bottom than before, in a sense, like everything that happened with Prushka, everything that happened just with Bondrewd, just over the course of the movie. It feels like you could explain that process as the solidification of the wish, in a sense, right? It certainly feels like if you think about Rico's attitude at the end of the movie when they're jumping into the orb, going down past the sixth layer, the point of no return, compared to like earlier on in the series when it does feel like almost just like a whole just kind of this broad all these reasons she wants to go down, and it feels so much less like solid, so much less solidified, I guess you could say, right? It does feel like the movie, you could imagine it as being part of that, right? So if the movie is Gutsu in some sense, then extraordinary value, the liberation of a wish, may. It means purity and impurity as well as chaos. Is that something that we have experienced throughout this season? I wonder, right? Maybe. Like it's possible. Would this season perhaps just be an extension of the Gutsu phase, even like the solidification of the wish? Perhaps it wouldn't be so for Rico, I feel like. It's hard for me to think of. I guess this season felt so not Rico focused that it's hard for me to say, I guess, how Rico's view on her wishes, on her desires changed in a way that you would say that she in any way like moved places on like this scale of value. I don't know. That would be hard for me to say. Extraordinary value, the liberation of a wish. Like the idea of the liberation of a wish makes me think about what Faputa experienced throughout this season, right? Like the way she was liberated from her duty, right? Um, the way that her wish felt so her duty and her desire, right? It went from being something that trapped her to, yeah, her the liberation of it, I suppose, right? Her deciding to continue on this journey, and that almost being an extension of her duty from before, right? So that kind of makes sense for Fapita. I don't know how you would apply the other steps to Fapita at all, but for Rico, I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure, right? It means purity and impurity as well as chaos. I wonder. And then Haku, the very highest value, the manifestation of a wish, right? We certainly have not reached that phase for for any character, really, right? And what I love about this, what I love about trying to apply all of this like Rico, is I feel like you could probably do this for like every character and what they truly desire. I'm not going to, because I think that would take a long time. But I think it would be a fun like thought experiment in a way. I think it would be a very fun, like if you try to apply this like Nanachi and her feelings about Midi and everything, right? Um, it's very interesting. I feel like you could almost say this arc in a way was Nanachi's like the liberation of the wish in a sense, perhaps, right? Her experiencing the second goodbye with Midi and the differences there compared to the first goodbye with her. I could imagine that very much being May, being the liberation of a wish, perhaps. Very interesting, very interesting. I don't know, it's really cool. It's a really cool thing that the author has like thought up. I wonder if this has some like deeper ties to something else, because this feels like such a broadly applicable thing to like wishes that people have in general. That it's hard for me to believe the author just came up with this by themselves, so maybe they did, right? It's very cool if they did. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. In that sense, it makes me wonder then if we could almost in some way predict the future arcs and what the how thematically those could be related to like Rico, for example, considering the step you could imagine she would be on in like this value scale, right? If she's reaching May next, the liberation of a wish. Well, what would that mean for Rico? That's a hard question. That's a hard question. Probably something too difficult for me to tackle right now in this discussion, right? I hope I didn't lose some people deciding to talk about this first. I just felt like this was something I really wanted to talk about because it was so interesting to me. Hmm. Okay, well, let's try and go through the episode more. I know there were many very specific lines I really wanted to talk about that I hope I get to. I hope I haven't forgotten which ones they were. Um, let's just start going through it, right? Oh, Fapita and Jorimo. I still don't know what to think about him. Him being the having the same name and being so related to the horrible guy who abused Roiko for so long. I don't really know what to think about it. It's very sad in a way. It's very sad that he came from like Iramui's mind in a sense, you know? And her connection with Voiko. I think that makes sense as well. I think it makes sense because they had like shared experiences and they had like shared like trauma in that way. I just wonder how Iramui herself like thinks about it, I guess, if she's still conscious. If she is, I mean, it's much nicer to think that Irumi was not conscious anymore, but considering that scene with Voiko, God, I don't know. Maybe, right? Maybe. God, the monsters on the sixth layer are still like a match for Fapita, which is insane. They're like literally terrifying. I guess it makes sense. It's man, they're scary. That's what like Ozen said, right? That the further down you go, the more terrifying the monsters are. Um, I mean, like what they can literally like see the future with the force field, right? I mean, it's horrifying. Fabata can't do that, you know. Like we see Fabata meeting Gabaroon. It's so mean that they give us this backstory between Fabata and Gabu after Gabu's already dead. Actually, is it mean? Maybe it's not. Maybe it just would have hurt even more for him to have died after this. I guess. I guess. Um, the connection between Gabaroon and Fabata is very interesting, of course. How both of them have like this duty that they believe is given to them, right? Gabaroon being an interference unit and thinking that his only purpose is, you know, gathering information and all of this, right? It's like he it's almost like through that process, it's almost like the idea of gathering information and connecting himself to others is almost belittled through that in a way, right? But we see that that's not true. Like his connection to Fapita was certainly more to him than just a process through which to gather information about her. Like right when he was dying, right? We see how important it was to him, you know. But I mean, it makes sense to me. It's like through this comparison between the two, it's like you're comparing Fapita to a robot, which is almost like what she would have to be. She would have to be like a robot, even more so than Gabaroon, because we even see that he has emotions and feelings, right? In order for her to truly view her duty and fulfill it in the way that she thinks she should, right? She's basically just a feral animal at this moment. Very nice, very cute. We really get some good Fapita moments in this episode. Hmm. I would like to learn more about you, your appearance, what exactly you are. God, like all of this, I even want to say that the relationship between Fapita and Gabaroon, you could even connect that to like this whole system of value that he tells her about, right? The way it like develops as a relationship, you know? Because he ends up, you know, she hasn't drawn the Haku thing on him yet, and she does eventually, you know? I wonder if it was like the village that Irumyuui grew up in that formed this whole value system originally, right? Probably, I assume, right? I don't think the village themselves came up with this, or not the village like Iruburu. I mean like the village on the surface back then in Orth. Did they come up with this whole weird value system? I wonder. Um, I don't know. I wonder because it's in the language, right? So I don't know. I don't know. The shape of a soul, a very interesting name, is what is called the irreplaceable. And Gabiru names her. It's so sad that Gabi was like basically her parent, right? Like her, I mean, he's kind of the only thing she really has in this moment, right? Like Fabio was really given such a sad life, I suppose. She would just be alone like forever on the sixth layer if it wasn't for Gabu and then Reg randomly running into her, you know? The Immortal Princess. Very cute. And she names him Gabarun, Queen's Guardian. Very nice, very nice. We see this back when when she hunted them down. I guess she didn't run into them. She knew they were here. But yeah, back in it was like episode 1, right? Or episode 2. Fabatel looks at Rico and says, "But something is different. This one's soul. Where did it come from?" A very interesting question because we have talked about something similar, which is, yeah, what is up with Rico and like the whole soul business, right? Because it feels like, going all the way back to season 1 with the curse repelling vessel and the whole thing about it not really, it doesn't actually repel the curse, it just brings you back to life, right? Um, how does it do that? Is it something weird with the soul, right? Like, does Rico not have her original soul? Like, did she when she died in the curse repelling vessel and she was going up? But how would the curse repelling vessel like put a different soul inside of her? Like how like, like how does that work, right? But Fabio could tell something's weird, so something has to be weird. God, that makes me so. Oh, season 3. I need a season 3 because like we can talk to Fabio about it, right? Maybe, I hope. I guess it's like, I don't know how that would ever come up in conversation. I don't know why Rico would ever be like, "Hey, Fabata, is there anything weird with my soul?" And Fabata would go into a 20-minute explanation scene about everything I want to know. I don't think that would happen. But maybe I can wish, right? I can wish. I can hope. I can dream. It's my Haku. And she's very fascinated by Nanachi. God, I never got my conversation between Nanachi and Fabata that I really wanted, because I do think the connection between them and their wishes, their desires is so strong. It's so clear to me. So they clearly have some kind of connection in that. I just wonder. I wonder if we will get to see them talk. If Opta continues on with the party, they probably will at some point. I don't know if they would talk about like their wishes and desires there. That'd be a pretty heavy topic, but I guess they don't have to, right? It's just I can just know that they're connected in that way, and it's interesting how they are similar characters in that sense. And another similarity between them, of course, is the way that both of them are like such unique. They have such unique like forms, I guess you would say, right? How Nanachi is so unique, being like the having the blessing, and Fabata is so unique, like being whatever she is. They're like completely unique things in that sense. Again, it's kind of another similarity how Fabito was born through this deep desire and love and longing from her mother, and Nanachi received that from Midi. Hmm. And Fabita is really really getting mad that Reg's surrounded by Nanachi and Riko. And Fabita can quite literally hear Prushka's voice. Very interesting. The connection between them is quite clear. This whole duty idea, right? Or at least that's how Fabta views it, right? This duty that Prushka has makes sense. Makes sense. And Fabta is all embarrassed. That's why she didn't talk to them. And we're back. Govern's dead. Rest in peace. God, it's gonna be so hard for Fapita. Like we saw her be like sad about it at the end of the episode, but she basically lost her dad, right? I mean, essentially, right? She pretty much lost her dad and her mother, right? And like her spiritual dad and mother in Bailoff and Voiko. She lost 2 sets of parents, essentially, right? Gavarun's dead, Iramui's dead, Voiko's dead, Bailoff's dead. Like, horrible, awful. Like, Jesus, man. Hmm. Off we go on Majikaja. Mugi talks about some very interesting things here about, yeah, this is one of the lines I really wanted to talk about. Um, Mugi talks about the village, about their dream. I found out how Uruburu came to be, and I heard Faputa's voice. A long time ago, a little girl found herself in a nightmare, and her youngest daughter has been trying to rouse her from that prolonged dream. The time's finally come. They all thought this day would come someday. So it's like, I guess it's this idea that the village has been like a long dream for them, essentially, right? It's interesting that they talk about it in this way, because like the way we were told before the village works is it's like it is a fulfillment of your value, of your dream in some way, right? It's almost like all the people in the village, they received what they imagined was a body in line with their dreams, with their wish, right? And they got it. And they got to like live it out. They got to achieve it in some sense. And yet they're all like discontented almost, it feels like, right? They all imagined that this day would come, that this was all just a long dream, right? It's I guess it's so related to like the theme with like Faputa too, right? Like what is she supposed to do once her duty is finished, right? Like the struggle she had over the idea of just I guess her meaning in life once everyone's gone and she's done with all of this, you know. I guess all of these characters in the village, they kind of achieved that and they got to fulfill their dream, their wish, what they imagined it to be, and it didn't I guess it didn't feel real. I wonder if perhaps it just wasn't as they weren't as content with it as they imagined, perhaps, you know? They imagined it would end someday, you know? It's led them to this, it's led them to what happens, you know? Because, of course, the answer for, like, Fapata is she needs to find more, she needs to have more value, more things that come from within herself, you know? We set out to have an extraordinary adventure, but it's like, what have we been doing all this time? Yeah, it's like they just stopped, you know? And I guess the thing is you can never stop, right? You can never stop, right? If the abyss represents like the journey of life itself in some way, ever just deciding to stop is just not that's just not a good idea. That's you not moving forward anymore, like in your life, essentially, right? I think it makes sense, right? It would be like if on the fourth layer they found Liza hanging out, and then Rico decided to stop forever and be done pursuing everything she wanted, you know? That wouldn't be good, right? And that's kind of like what happened here with the villagers, you know? And we talked to Wazukyan. Wazukyan, God, what the hell is up with Wazukyan? I, he's a very interesting character. I really wonder how much of this he foresaw, how much he was able to see, and and like what that means, right? This is the result of everyone going out of their way to care for each other. Wazikan really talks about, yes, this accumulation of deeds, right? The accumulation of things, which immediately makes you think of everything Gavroon just told Fapita about the ladder of value, I guess, right? Like the accumulation step of that, I suppose, right? I guess you could say for Wazikan, that's what this was supposed to be, perhaps, right? He was trying to crystallize it, I suppose, into the Gutsu stage, right? Hmm. There's something I must ask you. Are you glad you came here? Of course she is, right? I mean, I don't blame her. Yeah. Hmm. And she had the compass as well. It's like the compass led them both here, right? It feels like it led them almost to this moment, right? Because for both of them, it started with the compass, you know, and here they are. Just makes you think. It really makes you think. She ended up dropping it. I wonder if anyone's ever going to pick up that compass again. I feel like that's kind of I doubt we will ever see it again. I think it's in line with the themes of the show, I think, for it to just be yeah, for it to just be out there and for the next person who finds it to head out on an adventure, you know. For it to somehow reach far out into the ocean again, far away, and someone picks it up 10,000 years from now. Who knows? Who knows? And I guess like what Rico talks about there, like being glad that she came here. It's interesting because it very much plays into the idea of the journey itself being the important part, right? That it's just the idea of being glad that you embarked on the journey rather than the fulfillment of that wish in the first place, you know? Because that's what the villagers themselves achieved, right? Was just the end of the journey essentially, and then they were unhappy with it, right? Wazukyan certainly wanted to continue. All of them did, really, because that was the reason they set out in the first place, you know? So they achieved these bodies, they achieved this society where they got to fulfill what they wanted, what they desired. And yet it wasn't enough, right? Which makes sense. What was your end game? And he doesn't really give us a clear answer. We wanted to become something beyond human. To penetrate this giant pit, one must surpass humanity. What the hell is humanity? It's a broad idea, right? What he kind of says, essentially, right? He says all these things that would be like literally surpassing your humanity, right? Becoming a hollow, being blessed, possessing a body that would triumph over the curse, right? He says that's not a single one of those. It's the accumulation. The accumulation of things allows you to transcend your humanity. I guess in my mind, what I kind of translate it as is like humanity in this sense being like individuality, right? That it's um like Fapita, right? Fapita trying to view everything just in this lens of she herself has to fulfill her duty and that's it, right? Um, no, like what Wazikan talks about here is it's this the shared goal that they all had, right? The toughness cultivated through countless years of nestling up to the netherworld. It's the same thing that like Rico talked about all those episodes ago in season one when they were eating the corpse reaper, right? About how it's like they're the people of the past, their strength becomes your strength, right? You're pushed on by that, you know. I think that is in a way ascending humanity, becoming something beyond human, right? Um, allowing yourself to be pushed on through that kind of means, you know, or at least recognizing it, I suppose. The curiosity and purity to strive toward the beyond. And the heaven-sent children guided here each intermingle, adding to this accumulation. Right now, you're the ones at the very tip of it, the very tip of the accumulation. Interesting. Hmm. Along with Fapita is trying to figure out her path forward. No kidding. And he starts to disintegrate. There's only one thing I wish to do now, and that's tell you this. Please look after that child. And it's like he dies with this connection, this weird connection to Bondrewd, feeling like it's stronger than ever, right? His final wish being so similar to Bondrewd's in a way, which is like he imagines that somehow his own wish, his own desires would be fulfilled through Faputa, the same way that Bondrewd said that his wish and his desire is now for them to continue forth, right? Rico and everyone, you know? It's very interesting. I mean, through that, it's not really like they can reject it, right? That's the infuriating thing about it for Bondrewd. I don't mind as much with Wazukion, I suppose. He's done bad things, but he's different. He's a very different person. Very interesting. I don't know. Please look after that child. Of course, homesickness. We talk a lot about homesickness in this episode, which is such an interesting concept, I suppose. Like what is homesickness, you know? For things to go back to the way they were, for something comforting, you know? Homesick. There's a lot of feelings. There's a lot of feelings I think that intermingle to create the idea of like homesickness, I guess. Which maybe that makes sense with this whole subject of accumulation in a way, right? Children of the netherworld who harbor homesickness for the end of their journey. Homesickness for the end of your journey. Like, how's that possible, right? How can you be homesick for something that hasn't happened yet? It's very, God, very interesting. Very interesting. Something more frightening than unfulfilled dreams awaits beyond the gold. Something more frightening than unfulfilled dreams awaits beyond the gold. So what is the gold, right? Gold has been compared to like the idea of like your treasure, right? Like Nanashi and Midi, right? The like your Haku almost I could imagine, right? Your gold, I suppose. Something more frightening than unfulfilled dreams awaits beyond it. So what would that mean, right? Their dreams, so he's essentially saying it's not that their dreams won't be unfulfilled, right? At the very least, realize your dreams and then despair. It's kind of ambiguous, I guess, right? He's not saying that their dreams won't be unfulfilled. In fact, through this sentence, it's almost like he's saying, you know, you will realize your dreams, right? Perhaps in a similar way you could imagine the Hollows in the village did, right? Or at least imagine themselves as having done so. And then despair, right? That it's not that your dreams won't be unfulfilled, right? Things will go that you will achieve your goals, essentially is what he's saying, but despair will follow. And I wonder why so. What would be more terrifying than unfulfilled dreams? It's perhaps I guess the only thing that's more I guess the only thing that to me would be more terrifying than an unfulfilled dream in this case would be a fulfilled dream that doesn't end up the way you imagine it would, right? Maybe that's what Wazi-Khan is experiencing in this moment too, if he didn't see this far into the future, if he didn't know it would end up this way, right? Um, the idea of fulfilling your dream and the only worst thing than it being unfulfilled would be it being fulfilled in a way that isn't what you wanted it to be, right? Yeah, yeah. Because I think Fapita, for example, was very close to that in this season. She almost would have experienced that if she hadn't been changed so much as she was as she was putting on the duty and doing it, right? Like she after she killed Irimui, destroyed the village, and killed everyone, what would she have had? She would have had nothing, right? She would have fulfilled her dream, and then a despair would have followed, right? Okay, okay, that's not at all ominous for him. I do wonder if from Wazukion, if he's saying this just he doesn't seem like a spiteful man to me, right? He doesn't seem like someone who he seems so above, he seems so inhuman, right? He does seem so inhuman. He seems so above the idea of just spitefully saying this to them on his deathbed to try and get one over on him or something, right? So I wonder. It's not gonna play out the way you say it will. If you say so, that's great. I wonder. Because it's almost like if it won't play out the way he says it will, the easiest other way for it to play out would be for them to simply not fulfill their dreams at all, right? It's almost like that would be that would be the hard ending, I guess, would be they fulfill their dreams and it plays out the way they want it to, right? And they're satisfied with it, right? I guess in that case, with the way we've talked about dreams for the whole show, and what it means that it's almost like you always have to have a dream, right? In order to continue on in life, right? You need something, right? What does it even mean then to fulfill your dream, right? Is fulfilling your dream ever a good thing? If you're looking at it in that lens, right? Would it always lead you to a place that Fapita so easily could have been in, you know? Is that the kind of thing Wazukion himself is talking about? Maybe, because it's like he would know, right? It's like he did, in a sense, like, achieve the Golden City, right? Basically, right? He achieved almost the utopia in a way that felt so magnificent and so great and all of this, you know? And yet it's not like he was satisfied. He still wanted to continue on, right? I don't know. It's a very interesting question. That is for sure. That is for sure. It makes me really wonder. It makes me wonder if the end of the show will be um them fulfilling their dreams, or if we will have like another arc after that, right? Like, let's say they reach the bottom of the abyss, they fulfill their dreams in some way, and then what comes after? That would certainly be a thematic question that I feel like this show would answer, right? Because hey, I feel like it kind of applies to Nanachi too in this season, right? Her being with Midi, right? How it's like she felt like all she wanted was just be able to lie with Midi and just have her, right? But obviously that wasn't right, right? That wasn't gonna work out, you know. So yeah, very very interesting for the future of the show, I suppose. Wazukion is gone. Just how far ahead was this guy able to see anyway? Especially with it having led him to this, right? It really makes you think, like, how much did Wazukion know? How much could he see? How infallible were these things that he saw, right? Like, was what he just told them a prophecy that he's seen of the future? Or was it just him talking of his own personal experiences and what he's seen of his own wish, right? Impossible to know because he's dead, but I don't know. I mean, we don't have an answer, right? Very interesting. It's also interesting how like Nanachi almost talks to Bailoff in her mind here, right? Because I guess having all of someone's experiences and memories in your head would probably kind of feel like that, like you have another person there, you know? Very interesting. Very interesting. Fapita screams and summons them all, of course. We gotta go look for Vueko, because she is indeed gone. She left Wazukion. And like that's the interesting thing, right? To try and like elucidate some of Wazikon's actions a little bit. Like he brought Voiko down here for what purpose, right? He jumped down here with her, which all it did was lead to her climbing these stairs back up and dying from the curse, right? Did he foresee that? Why would Wazikon, like I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. Poor Pakyon doesn't really get to have a connection with Voiko again. I mean, they kind of do at the very end, right? She saves her in a sense, I suppose, right? I guess because like the thing is, if Pakyon hadn't thrown Voiko down the stairs, no one would have been able to go up there to get her, right? Because they would have had to go through the force field. So, thank God. Hmm. Actually, no. I guess Reg would have. So like, I don't know. Maybe it saved her a little bit because like the curse. I feel like the only reason Voiko wasn't completely transformed and like incoherent and gone entirely was probably because she like just barely was affected by it. She ascended a tiny bit and it barely started affecting her. I imagine. Oh, and here's Voiko, thinking about her actions and what she's doing. This useless husk of a self. Wonder if those children are safe. So she's so inspired by Rico, and so she has these feelings about Rico because she sees Rico as someone who's so able to make decisions and so able to like fulfill things that she wants, right? And Rico imagines herself as being someone who has like failed at all of this stuff, right? That she's never been able to make these decisions. She's never been able to, like the only thing that mattered to her is Irumyuri, and she thinks this was a massive betrayal in every way of her to still even be alive after having eaten her children, right? She thinks she trampled over her dreams and all of this. And Rico kind of represents the opposite of that, right? Through her almost fulfilling the dreams of others, right? Through their yeah. Yeah, she made her own decisions and held out a hand, offering adventure to those children. And Prushka and Ma and herself, right? She extended it even to me, someone who couldn't make a single decision. It's like the horrifyingly sad thing about this is like the decision that Voiko is thinking about, the only decision she could have made would be to what? Die? Right? And it's like we know that's not the answer, right? Like she was there for Umyui the whole time, right? One thing I decided on her own. One thing I decided on my own. Her going up the stairs to begin this adventure and find Irumyui, right? To take Irumyui. She made that decision too, right? To have her, this relationship with her. Hmm. And she gets hollified. I guess it had to happen. I guess we were never going to take Voiko with us on our adventure, right? I guess that was never going to happen. But, like, oh god, I don't want to look at it. Why did this have to happen? I'd long forgotten about it. The curse of the Great Pit. Yeah. Pakyon, it's so sad. Pakyon didn't really get to talk to her at all. She disappears. It's like so, oh god. Man. Of course, Nanachi has like this connection to Voiko because of like she has Balak's memories, right? So of course, yeah. When she says it's personal now, like yeah, because she has like this deep connection to Voiko. Papata is fighting these things, the giant giraffe guys, the giant giraffe dragon guys. This is very cute. When Reg shows up and she's like so excited, and then she remembers she's supposed to be mad at him, or suspicious of him at the very least, right? Hmm. For the signal, we use the white whistle. I really wonder how the white whistle works. It's kind of scary that it has this negative effect on Rico every time, because we have no idea how white whistles work or what they do or anything, right? Like, I imagine it's stuff that Rico probably would have learned if she was like a white whistle like the normal way and had like gotten it through normal means rather than, being like an undocumented white whistle, I guess. So I don't know. I hope she's not doing something horrible to like herself and her body by using it like this over and over again. I don't know. I don't know. Because it has quite the effect on her. But Reg takes on these damn giraffe dragon things. Very nice. Very cool. And Fapita has gathered all the last of the villagers. She won't forgive them for it, of course, but she's giving them a duty, and they will become part of her value, in a sense. The value needed in order to know rests inside you. Yeah, and they're willing to do it. They're willing to do it. I think it makes sense. Hmm. It's interesting how, like, obviously most of the villagers, they didn't even know any of the stuff about Irumyuui or the origin of the village at all, right? Oh god. I guess, like, when Fapita saw Balaf, she said, like, Mother's scent was strong, she could, like, tell that he was someone who ate, uh, the children, you know? I guess I just wonder, like, what percentage of the villagers who even were people who knew the origin of the village, right? Like, I guess they just never told anyone about it or anything, you know? Reg pulls him out here. He gets him. He destroys this. I still don't understand Wazikan. Like he reinforced this bridge so the monsters could walk across. But like for what purpose? Is it because the monsters showing up is such a strong part of what had Fapita have those realizations about like value and her duty? Like I guess is that thinking too much of what Wazikan was his intentions were? I really don't know. Maybe you were Fapita's reason for living. Were not anymore, right? Come on. Ugh. It has to be so conflicting for her, like, having all the knowledge she has now, you know? And Voitko has some more thoughts. Couldn't forgive herself, neither for eating your children living on, nor for being unable to die with you. Which is not what Irumyuui would have wanted, of course, right? And I think Voitko's knowledge that that's not what Irumyuui would have wanted. I think that's essentially what this realization here is, right? She hears this voice, a voice quieter than a whisper, which makes me think that, of course, Irumyuui was still alive, in some sense. She learns that what she really wanted wasn't just children, because of course she had more than one wish. She had 3 wishes, right? I imagine that the realization she has here is that she wanted all of these people to live, right? It zooms in on Voiko that like what she wanted Voiko to live, right? That she wanted this in some way, right? That the manifestation of that wish ended up the way it was, right? And it makes sense why Voiko would be so like destroyed by that, right? That it led to what happened, them eating her children to survive, right? Despite that being part of Irumyui's wish, you know? Yeah, she wanted a family, I suppose. Couldn't forgive herself, and Reiko blames herself for it, I suppose, right? That's like if Irumyuui didn't care about her, if Irumyuui hadn't made that part of the wish, then like what? None of this would have happened, I guess. You know, that's what she's thinking because she doesn't think that she has the worth for that. You know. Hmm. And Fapita destroys it, destroys the village. Balef's mask gets destroyed. A very sad shot. It's able to suffer the worst punishment possible, attending your deathbed. Jesus, God. Hmm. And Fapita in this moment, she's carried out her duty. She's so drained. She's so, it's like I imagine this is how Fapita would have been. This is how Fapita would have been if it wasn't for all the experiences she's had to like change her view of duty, right? And like what she is and her purpose of life, I suppose, right? She has no more energy she can give within herself, right? It's like this is almost like the literal like burning herself up thing that was brought up a few times, being a fire, I suppose, right? She thinks about how she wishes she would have eaten these 3 too, you know? Even though it's obvious, like, if that had happened, she would have been sacrificing these other things that are so important, right? It's like she imagines that she should have put this duty so far above these other things that she should have given it all up just to be able to kill Yumui, right? And fulfill this duty, you know? And I think the important thing, of course, is it doesn't have to be strength within herself, right? She's saved by Reg, someone outside of herself, right? She's been so self-reliant and so reliant on the strength from within herself, being a fire, fulfilling her duty, right? But she doesn't have to, right? She doesn't have to. Down the village goes. Rico gives Ma a stuffed animal from when Ma lost all of theirs from the balancing, right? After Minya, that stuff. God. And Majikaja feeds himself to Fapita, and for just a moment takes over her body, right? Which immediately makes you think of what Majikaja said about how he wishes he had a body rather than just a vessel. All those times ago, all those episodes ago. And rip Ma. Ma disappears, unfortunately. Ah, that stuffed animal. That's man, yeah. Part of Rico too now. Hmm. A mercy killing. I feel like this shot here, I feel like there's some kind of meaning you could take from it, right? This dragon thing killing that other one. It feels like, I don't know, you can imagine it as a mercy killing, you can imagine it as some kind of territorial action, you know? It makes you think about like what Iramuri did, how it's essentially putting Iramuri out of her misery as well, you know? I mean what Fapta did. Did I say that wrong? I don't know. Um I don't know. It's interesting. They all eat it. The circle of life. The circle of life. The last remnants of Majikaja leave Fapita, of course. We have a conversation between Voiko and her. She has the memories now. God, all three of them, Nanachi, Riko, and Reg, all had such unique experiences throughout the season. You know, they just, all three of them, I guess all three of them being like so separated for so much of it. Just they all three just had very, very unique connections and very different. I don't know, they gathered a whole bunch to carry along with them, right, for the rest of the journey. You know, I guess that's how it is. Rico had like Majikaja and Ma and Voiko. Reg has Faputa, Gabu, right? He had some conversations with him. Nanachi had Bailoff, the memories, right? All of that. Wazukion kinda, you know. Very interesting. All these connections the three of them made that are so different and so unique. Return to the abyss from the eternal cradle. Turn to the same path that they're on. And not only that, but they're basically with you, right? They're part of you now. And Fapita and Vrico have their conversation. They're similar, but also different, of course. God, Vrico's last moments are just so, it's so sad. It's very, the line that she thinks of, that Droimo said, that the Golden City could turn even junk into gold. It's such a horrible, bittersweet, awful thing to like for her to think, right? Because of course that's the voice of this horrible man that tormented her and assaulted her and was awful, right? So it's so horrible for her to think it right now, right? It's like what she thinks, right? About how even now, right, that trauma is still part of her. She still can't escape it, you know? It has to be like infuriating in a way that after all this time, of course it's still part of her, right? Um it's very interesting how like for Voiko, it feels like she has this horrible self-esteem, this horrible way of viewing herself, which you wonder how much of that goes back to just even this line, this way she was treated back then, you know. But it's also just the thought of in some way that it has been turned into gold, right? That not Voiko herself really. I mean, I guess you could certainly imagine that, right? But like the experiences she's had, right? How horrible all of these experiences were with Iramuri, and yet the meaning she found in all of this, you know, the warm darkness, I suppose, you know, even just the shared trauma between them originally, right? I guess it just goes like her remembering his voice then and thinking about how it's still a part of her in some way despite all this time. Like as horrible and as dark as it is, I mean I guess it's just true. That's just how it is, you know. You will never not be made up of all these experiences and all these things. All these people that have had an impact on you, you know, even like terrible ones like that. Right? Happy Bailoff said I have dark eyes. That's what started it all, right? That's why she saw her. It's like in this moment, I suppose, that's almost like what she's saying, right? She has dark eyes in a way because of that horrible trauma and experiences that she shared with Iramuri. And that's why she was able to see her. That's why she was so connected to her in a sense, you know? Yeah. You let me change. Oh God. So sad. Well, we bury Voiko right where her mother, I mean, right where her daughter is, basically, Ramiri, right? She'll be here forever, I guess. Hmm. And Papata gives her a little grave marker, the little friend she would make, so she won't be lonely. God, it's so sad. Until the soul comes around again. What a phrase. That's what Gabu said. Yeah. Gabu's dead too. Oh god. Like Fapita just lost everything. It's actually so horrible all that she lost, you know? Man. And Fapita will come along with us. She better. I mean, she says that she'll think about it, but like she better. I swear to God. Like, come on. Saw your fearsomeness, your sadness, your beauty. Our paths crossed and we met. Let's go on an adventure. The gathering of fools. I suppose, I suppose. Rico, so that is your role. You wish to cherish those you encounter. She sure does, she sure does. The stone person is telling me that is your duty. She has an amazing Prushka impression. Even though he forgot everything, Rig is still kind like before. That must be because all of you, yeah, yeah. To observe, to touch, and gather. Gabu's part of her in a way, right? Come on. God, and the music during this scene is so good. Oh, God. It seems Reg doesn't discriminate when it comes to fluffiness, right? Except Fapata is kind of the one who, like, torments him, honestly. Like, she is quite the match for him, right? At the end of homesickness for that which will never return. I can understand that, right? It's almost like nostalgia, right? Like the something that you can never get back, I guess, right? Within the true darkness, there certainly was a light that no one could find, and not a single person could take hold of it. Oh God, it's just that just feels so. It feels so meaningful thinking about like everything that happens and how Faputa is the only thing left. How Faputa is like the accumulation of all of this, all of these things that happened with Ganja all those years ago. All of this, how all of it led to Faputa, right? And her journey, her adventure. It's like it's almost like the weight on her shoulders, but it's not even that because she doesn't think of it in that way, at least not now. Um, it's just all that she has behind her. I guess you can imagine pushing her on, right? Like what Wazikian said about becoming more than human, right? Like the strength of those who came before her. Faputa has so much of that. You know, she really is this accumulation of just it's thousands of years of things, you know? She is everything, you know? The gold that was born of you is free from the yoke called value. She sure is, right? She's able to decide it for herself, right? And is now about to set off, despite knowing that the path leads only to darkness. Oh, there's another line in there about I think I skipped it. Yeah, despite knowing that love itself is a curse, despite knowing that the path leads only to darkness. That's probably why. So very dazzling. So beautiful. Ah, and that's the end. That is the end of Maiden Abyss. Man, God. It's always God, it's the homesickness that I'll never return to for me whenever I finish a show, right? Like, man, I'm gonna be so sad. This was such a good show. Such a good season. Oh God, so good. And we are done. We have finished it. Well, I guess that's it. We will be replacing this with another show, which will likely be up in 2 weeks from now. Because I am not. The first episode and the second episode will go up at the same time. The first episode will be up on YouTube. The second episode will be up on Patreon at the same time. So it'll probably be 2 weeks from now when that starts. So yeah, this has been an amazing journey. Such a good show. We got another show that we're just waiting for another season for. And man, oh God. I can't wait though. I can't wait though. Very good. Very good. Trying to think if there's anything else I want to say. I don't know. It's so hard to like try and cap off your feelings about something like this. It's impossible, I guess. It's impossible to like fully say everything. It's always impossible. Every time after I record any discussion, I always think, oh, I wish I had said this. There's this thing that I thought about that I should have said, blah, 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 blah. It always happens. It's unavoidable. But I guess that's it. I guess that's it. That is the end of Made in Abyss. So please, if you enjoy my videos, subscribe, leave a comment, tell me what you think, and I will see you in the next one.